Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining me. Now, as always, you can help the channel grow by liking, subscribing, turning the notifications on, but most importantly, sharing the content. Donations can be made at paypal.me/morelogmorningdigest. I want to keep talking about the nature of this reality, and I want to make one thing very clear. A lot of us want to believe that we have been lied to about the nature of this reality. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. We were told the truth from the very beginning. It's just that all of us, including myself, were too naive to understand what was happening. Now, I've said 100 times before on this channel that the rules of this system are the truth must be presented to you in order for you to buy into a deception. So, in this system, if I want to gain power, I have to give you the truth before presenting you with the deception. And there's ways for me to sidestep this and bend that rule. But at the end of the day, the truth has to be perceivable by the victim of the deceit. Now, when it comes to the nature of this reality, the powers that should not be have done this from the very beginning. And we all were too naive to recognize it. Now, how did they do this to us? Very simply. From the moment that we stepped into a classroom and they presented this sphere Earth to us, they always referred to it as the heliocentric model. And the key word here is model. A model is a mathematical representation of a perceivable reality. Now, what that means is, they have always told us that this is nothing more than a way to look at reality. And that one word, model, is the dead giveaway. I'm not saying that I was smart enough to recognize this. It took me a long time to come to this, this understanding. All right. So, by them doing this, they have told you from the very beginning that this is nothing but a philosophy and a way for you to view the world. It does not represent your reality, but rather it's a way for you to think of reality. Now, why is this detrimental? This is very detrimental because they are going to use this word model as a way of gaslighting the segment of the population who is stupid enough to go right back to the liars for a new version of reality. Instead of believing their own eyes and instead of using their mind, they're going to go right back to the people that lied to them about this being a spherical Earth. Now, the powers that ought not be, do you really think they're going to admit that they lied? No. If you were a person in charge, would you ever set yourself up to have to get on your knees and beg for forgiveness because you lied to somebody? The answer to that question is no. Not if you can avoid it. So what they're going to do is they're going to gaslight that entire segment of the population that accuses them of lying to them. And that's because they told you the truth. They're going to tell you, what do you mean we lied to you? We didn't lie to you. We told you this was the heliocentric model. We never told you this was reality. It's not our fault that you couldn't recognize the philosophy being used. What? You didn't realize that the Earth was flat? It's obvious and observable. We told you this was a model, and you disbelieved your own eyes and thought we were telling you that the Earth was actually a sphere? No. We were telling you you can think of it as a sphere. They're going to gaslight that segment of the population that's dumb enough to go back to the liars for the answer. And the liars aren't going to sit there and tell you that they lied. They're going to tell you that you're too stupid to understand the philosophy they were using. And this is the way that this system is designed, 100%. They told you the truth. they're not lying to you when they tell you that you were too stupid to understand the philosophy being used. We were. We were too stupid to recognize it. However, I'm not going to be stupid enough to fall for it again. I hope you're not either. But a vast segment of the population is going to, because they have been programmed to believe whatever these assholes say. And once they start getting gaslit and made to feel as though that they are intellectually inept, it's even easier for this segment of the powers that ought not be to draw you right back into another lie instead of believing your own two eyes, which they told you to do. So they'll come out and they'll say, yeah, it's flat. It was always flat. Your eyes told you it was flat. You observed that it was flat, but you were too dumb to recognize that we were rather preaching a philosophy and a model as opposed to the reality of this earth. Right? And then they'll come up with a whole nother bullshit model, right? And repeat the cycle over again. And this is exactly what's happened in the past. It's exactly what's going to happen again. The difference is, this time, there's a large amount of us that recognize what the hell they are doing. And as long as a certain segment of the population, a big enough segment, doesn't fall for this gaslighting, we may very well have a chance of stopping that influence. I don't know if that's going to be possible, though. That's all I got for you today. Have a good morning.